Wherever in the world you are, welcome back. Like, subscribe, and share this video. And please, if you wouldn't mind, could you comment below? Okay, today would be a really good day for you to start planning for an economic downturn. Do I know that's going to happen? Of course I don't. Nobody knows. But things are not the way they should be. Real estate inventory is increasing at an alarming rate. I am focused on one particular area, but I can guarantee you, if you go anywhere in the country and you go into Zillow or any other platform and just follow the daily inventory increase, this particular area I'm talking about, inventory has increased by 200 homes or structures or buildings or whatever it is just in the last week. And that has been steadily rising over the last year and a half. So there's almost 100% more inventory than there was a year ago. Now, the problem is nobody is buying, obviously, and nobody is selling. So we're in a scenario where we're basically in a form of stagflation. Prices are still going up a little bit. In some areas they're coming down, but there's no point in dropping the price of anything if nobody is there to buy it. So hence stagflation. Same thing is happening with cars. Car dealerships realize, you can only sell so many cars that people are willing to buy. If people are not willing to buy them anyway, what's the point in giving deep discounts? Now, this will come to a head. Something is going to break. Something is going to happen. It could be, I believe unemployment is going to rise. I believe companies are losing enormous amounts of money, coupled with the fact that technology is coming in faster than people even expected. Artificial intelligence is growing at an enormous rate. Look, you're watching my channel. Most of the videos I put on here are artificial intelligence videos. They're created by artificial intelligence. Much of the script is created by artificial intelligence. This particular video isn't, because obviously it's just me talking. However, I am basing this video on data that I have access to, that everybody has access to. You have access to it also. So there's a lot of information out there, and all that information is pointing to the fact that things are not right. Now, I'm prepared for this. And you're sitting there going, yeah, well, good for you. You're prepared. Well, I'm only prepared because a few times in my life when we had economic downturns, I wasn't prepared. And I kind of didn't want to miss this one. I was kind of prepared in 2008 when we had the crash. I had very little debt. I had just unloaded a piece of property that even though I didn't make a lot of money on it, I got out from under it. I had one of those adjustable rate mortgages, and had I not been able to sell that property, I would have been in dire straits. I was lucky enough, I discounted the property, I got out of it, and then I moved to another state. And I actually bought, without getting too deep into the numbers, I bought a lot. I bought a half-acre lot for $50,000 at that time. I built a house on it, and anyway, make a long story short, all these years later, that house is now worth $1.3 million. So that's what I'm talking about preparing. That's going to come around again. I don't know when, I don't know how, but I do know this. If you are prepared financially, you don't need an enormous amount of money, by the way. What you need is to have as little debt as possible. And if you do have debt, it needs to be what I call good debt. So a home mortgage is not necessarily bad debt, although a home mortgage is not, people think homes are assets. Well, they aren't if you sell them. But while you're living there, it's actually a liability because you're paying a mortgage, you're paying expenses. But when I talk about good debt, I'm talking about real estate debt, income debt. So here's the bottom line. Dump all the credit cards. Get rid of your credit card debt. If you have a car payment, get rid of it. Get rid of the car maybe, because you do not want any of this stuff on your credit report. Because when things drop, and they will, there will be deals out there. And the person who is in a position where they have a little bit of cash, enough to put a down payment on something, a piece of property or whatever it is, or even just enough money to buy into stocks, if they drop, and they probably will. They may not, but they probably will. You are getting in at the bottom, and you always want to get in at the bottom. So the best way to do that is to have as little debt as possible. Get out of debt and have no bad debt. Credit cards are bad debt. A mortgage where your house is worth less than, obviously the mortgage that's on it, that's really bad debt. Nobody's going to lend you money if you're in that position. Nobody's going to give you money. Nobody's going to allow you to even negotiate. You're a waste of time, basically. Now, the other way to get to this point, and listen, if there's a crash or there isn't a crash, you should be doing this anyway. I do this now as a hobby almost. I purposely am very, very cautious about how I spend money. I'm not cheap. I buy things I like. I pay for experiences. I pay for vacations. I enjoy myself. But I don't waste money on stupid things. I don't DoorDash. I don't do any of that stupid crap. I have very few subscriptions. Subscriptions are killing people. I mean, my wife and I have a shared Netflix account, which our whole family uses. I do subscribe to some people on X because I find them to be very intelligent. As you know, I'm a big fan of Tesla, and I follow Tesla, I follow the trends, and I follow some people on X who are definitely in the know. That cost me a total, I want to say it's like $70 a month or something, because you can subscribe to individuals. And then anyway, but keep those subscriptions out of your life as much as you possibly can. Get out of debt. Get out from under car payments. The dumbest thing in the world is buying a new car. I've done it. I'll do it again. Except the next time I'll be paying cash, or I'll be buying my car through my company, which is tax deductible. And even though I own the company, I own it with partners. The money isn't coming out of my personal account. The business is paying for it, all that stuff. But just be prepared for this. And if it doesn't happen, there's a million people on the internet and on YouTube telling you, oh, it's going to crash. Real estate's going to drop 50%. Nobody knows that. What I'm really telling you is, wouldn't it be beautiful to be in a position when everything crashes or things drop, or even just a house that you've always dreamed of, or a condominium, or a rental property, or even a car that you've always dreamed of owning drops 30 grand or whatever, and you can get in there and you can buy it for cash at a very low price. I'm not saying that's smart, but it can be anything. But prepare yourself. Live a frugal life. That doesn't mean cheap. Frugal has such a bad connotation to it. It's unfair, actually. Frugal is intelligence. It's not cheap, and it's not, it's not tight with money or whatever it is. It's not miserable. It's really intelligent. And also take an approach of minimalist living. Look around you and look at things you want and say to yourself, do I need this, or do I just want this? And most of the time, you're going to see you don't need it. You just want it. And separate those two. But prepare yourself financially, because I got a frog in my throat. Apologies for that. There's no greater place to be than when something really comes up and pops up as a really good deal. You know you want it. You know you need it. You know it's going to benefit you and your family long term, maybe your kids or your grandkids. Be able to jump on that. Now, this video is not for guys my age. You already know all this stuff. But a lot of people on my channel here are between the ages of 25 and 45. You're in the catbird seat, man. If you have no debt, and if you have cash, it doesn't have to be a giant pile of cash, any amount of cash that you can put your hands on, you are going to be in the driver's seat. And if you can jump on a deal right now, it'd be real estate or whatever kind of an asset of value it is, 10 years from now, you will be in an enormously great position, and you will be able to do things that you never even imagined were possible. And also, I want you to do one other thing for me. There's one simple rule if you want to be successful and you want to be wealthy. Watch what the poor people are doing and don't do it. Thank you very much.